Cash-strapped, the new King of Aragon, Henry II, is looking for ways to grow his empire and reunify it, but do so in the most trustworthy, lazy way he possibly can. So, everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome back to the channel and more Crusader Kings 3 goodness. It is now 1234 AD, and we've got Henri II with his very capable wife, Estefania Jimena, on the throne of Aragon. It's kind of interesting now to see a Jimena on the throne. If we think about it, there's a Jimena on the throne of Castile and, of course, Galicia. So there is the Jimena triarchy, in a way, in Iberia, and we'll kind of see where that ends up going. Now, the Galicians, of course, are very split, as are the Aragonese, whereas the Castilians, well, they are a little bit as well. Now, we do have some interesting, let me unpause the game here, Casus Belli that we could work on for expansion. And one of them is to take on the Castilians directly, because we actually have an internal claim for that, which would be an interesting one to do, and we'd have to see how that works. If we look here, we have declare war for Duke Leon. He would then get the kingdom of Castile, and becomes King Nuno becomes Duke Leon's vassal. We get a weak hook on him. That's really it. It's not like we internalize and grab the Castilian throne for ourselves. It's more of having a, I'm not gonna say a puppet king here. So, but it's not really something I'm overly interested in. Our culture has discovered urbanization. So we are going to take a look at this real quick. To my liege, while you hold the Kingdom of Aragon, it is clear to everyone that it is I who govern it. Its many hills and villages are overseen by my bailiffs and my magistrates. Therefore, I am laying claim to it. You are welcome to grant the title to me whenever you wish, else I am sure that it will fall to me in due time. I have let Pere Ramon crow too strong, so he now has an unpressed claim on the Kingdom of Aragon. So this will be an interesting one to keep an eye on, actually. If we look at Pere Ramon himself, he's okay. An unpressed claim, so with his death, then that claim would die as well. If we look here, we've got, I mean, he grew up in an intrigue court. Intrigue is not his strength. It is a diplomacy and learning. He is trusting, lazy, and forgiving. So Pere Ramon has created a faction to basically grab the Kingdom of Aragon. So I think what we're going to do now is we are going to go and we are going to petition our liege, spend the 200 in prestige, and dismantle the faction. That is what we're going to petition. There is no danger. So we're going to start the travel. So Henri is going to head to Ile-de-France, to Paris, to discuss with the Emperor of Francia this dangerous faction now being created by, or that has been created by, Duke Pere Ramon. So we've got the men-at-arms fascination, so let's actually take a quick look at this stuff. So we are now fascinated on this, so size of men-at-arms regiments grows up, max number goes up. We've got the trebuchet, which is nice, which I think that's something we'll do once we have the cash. Hoardings here unlocks all high-level medieval-era fortification buildings, so that's important. Divine Right, so unlocks Palatinate Feudal Contract. Scutage, Feudal unlocks that one, and Republican Vassal Tax Contribution goes up. I don't care about. Guilds can build small caravanserai, unlock high medieval economic buildings, which is kind of nice. It grows that up. And seigneurialism, so domain taxes would go up. If we look at late medieval here, this is where primogeniture sits. So that's still a ways away. I don't want to go with men-at-arms. Instead, we're going to go with hoardings. So unlocks high medieval era fortification buildings. I think that is better for us. Or we can recruit crossbowmen at men-at-arms. Bumping up our men-at-arms regiments. That's, I mean, this is going to be 17 years. This will take 117 years. If we drop to this, it'll be 20. That'll be 17. This will go to 7. But that'll be done in 10 years regardless. Divine Right. That'll turn it to 18 years. And then that goes to 98 years. So I think strengthening on the military side would probably be the best way to go. Scutage feudal contract would be nice as well. If we switch to that, that would be 19 years. Right now, I think we're going to continue on with the men-at-arms. Do we have anything left down here? No, here we've got everything done we need to get done. Now, we cannot reform the Angevin yet. Actually, what if we adopt a new court language, Iberian Vulgar or Dual Vulgar. Dutch down here, that's an interesting one. No, we're going to stick to essentially French, for lack of a better term. If we reform Angevin, establish a new tradition, yeah, we are quite far out. We really need to grow that prestige quite a bit before we can add more to this. So, yeah, we need quite a few thousand, at least 2,000, to even consider adding anything beyond what we have now, but it goes more towards 7,000. So there's not much else we can do there. If we look at our legacies, we're actually not too far away in renown that we can open up something here as well, and then we'll have to see which way it'll go. Probably law. That is more his direction, or a vibrant court with erudition. Those are more likely the directions he will go down. Or maybe customs, language scholars. This could also be another way he goes, but not warfare, not guile, blood. He's not really worried about that. So you gain 600 learning lifestyle experience by visiting the capital. I am escorted into Emperor Julien's throne room, where he beckons for me to approach and address him. I summarize the events which have led to the open treachery of Duke Pere Ramon and his faction to install Duke Pere Ramon of Barcelona on the Aragonese throne, and request their forced surrender by the Emperor. After listening to the speech, he sits in silence for several moments as he mulls my petition over. Eventually, he addresses me. He makes some good arguments, but if I am to agree to your request, I will need something in return. Surely you see it would benefit both of us if we come to an arrangement. My Emperor, perhaps I explained it poorly. A fair offer, I accept. So, what does this do? Your feudal levies are increased. You gain 10 opinion. Every member of the faction installed Duke Pere Ramon cannot join another faction for 5 years. Loses 10 opinion of Emperor Julien. And we gain some renown. So, are you kidding? Increasing the levy size. I'd be okay with that. I will. I mean, this gets it done. He's lazier. He's trusting. He trusts the Emperor to not abuse that. And with that, we have ended that. I have arrived in Angers to pay homage to you, glorious king. Count Hartwig of Tutila. Show Hartwig in at once. I wait patiently on my throne for the arrival of Count Hartwig, who is soon announced and ushered before me. So, serve me well, Count Hartwig. So, he gains 75 prestige. We gain 3 court grandeur. We gain 75 prestige and 75 renown. A foreign treat. I mean, it's winter, but sure, it looks beautiful out there. It's not the first time I catch my caravan leader, Savary, fiddling around with some flowers he's been picking along the road. Sometimes I'd swear I even hear him sighing, overlooking Nogent-le-Rotrous holding. My liege, he says, when he notices that I've been observing him. It's not a secret that my heart has found a new home, far from home. Alas, my liege, my soul aches for Adela. My desires know no end. Her eyes, her hair, I long for just a salute. I die for a word. Please, I beg you, let me stay with her. Savary? Wow, he's really good. You know, he's trusting, forgiving. Yes, that's fine. Savary may leave. A new caravan master, so we could pick Udes, who's, I mean, at least he's a traveler, or Julien. Udes. He shall be our new caravan master. So we get welcome administration for 5 years. Holding taxes go up in the county of Zaragoza. And we have now, Henri has arrived back home. So we've got a new head of Aquitaine, a Flandern, King Reinaardson, Catholic Dutch. He can declare war again for the Duchy of Toulouse. Don't quite get it connected. This is just the snaking arc here. This would be definitely one to do. We've got the army. We just... cash. The cash really hurts. Especially to go after all of Aquitaine. Or not, to attack Aquitaine. They're very large, very powerful, but we would gain Toulouse. And we do not want to lose the claim on Toulouse. So after discussing it with our spy master, Count Alphonse, who can see the dangers posed would actually be the word, by Duke Pere Ramon of Barcelona. And since he is vengeful, an elusive shadow, and a torturer, he would actually recommend removing the problematic Duke. And so, looking at the Duke Pere Ramon, and his unpressed claim, if we would look at a murder scheme, it's 66% chance that this would happen, to remove him and that claim. And, you know, Henri kind of waves and says, no, I trust that Pere Ramon will not come after us again. However, in his forgiving soul, should Pere Ramon still try to claim the Aragonese throne, then, dear spy master, we will do that. Take a quick look at the kids that we have here. And let's see, we've got Engelbert, who of course is focused on stewardship. Then we have Princess Constance, who also looks very stewardship focused. She is quick and consecrated blood. So I believe she too shall focus on that. And then finally we have young André, who here I think we're going to lean more towards intrigue, because that is something from the family. Or no, actually diplomacy. What about the wife? She is also more into diplomacy, so I believe leaning into diplomacy would make the most narrative sense with this family right now. We have a dangerous faction here to lower crown authority. Count Gilbert, Count Richard III the Fat of Rouen, Countess Melisande of Bayeux. Actually, here, Count Gilbert, let's start swaying and get him to at least begin to like us. If they rise up, we will fight them for sure and destroy them and punish them. Well, he's forgiving, so punishment is not really on Henri's to-do list. Now, one area that is on Henri's to-do list is Saumur. He wants to regain Saumur, so we'll go to the council and we will get a claim. You know, fabrication is such a dirty word. I see it more as going through the records and finding, yes, this is actually Plantagenet land, and it belongs back to the family, because, let's be honest, this just needs to be reunified. Touraine needs to be added. This part of Brittany as well. Here, Alphonse claims, really not much to it here. I'm not worried about that. It's this chunk right here. Basically Berry. We want to get that. Issoudun, we will add that back to the land holdings as well and just kind of get this. And then we'll have these little Frankian islands in there. Got a new diplomatic perk. We can go with Confidence. So each friend adds -5 stress gain. And personal success, scheme success chance against family members goes up. We're going to go with Confidence, because he's definitely more into friendship and trusting and loyalty. Queen Estefania is pregnant yet again. So they are very prolific in that regard. Duke Napoleon's hunt. No. Richard has become your marshal. He cannot be fired for 25 years. This guy somehow always worms his way in there. And he is not good at what he does. Not even a little bit. He's only 27, to the consternation of those around him, especially Count Alphonse isn't a fan. Yeah, no, there's no real love lost here. His relationships... Suffragan Bishop, Wolfmar of Northumbria. Premature. The child was not meant to be. My wife, Queen Estefania, assures me it is the way of life, but her hand lingers on her belly. She is no longer pregnant. Count Richard. No, this is now the Count. Has a 5% chance to kill him. No, Alphonse is going to let it be. We're just going to have a crappy marshal. There's really nothing else we can put him in right now that would work for us. We just have to deal with him right now. Maybe we can declare a war and, you know, kind of get him killed. Brittany right now is dealing with a war for a claim. Alliance invalid. Jan Plantagenet, because he is no longer the ruler. Okay, but we can designate a guardian here for a young Prince Angevin. Someone that is good at stewardship. You know what? Our Father. Fellow servant of the Lord, as our order of the Knights Hospitaller grow, we need more land from which to organize our defense of the Catholic faith. The city of Pella-Sobira is perfectly suited to our purpose. We wish to lease it into service for our cause. Your request is granted for God. You get the city of Pella-Sobira. Mayor Lucia leases it. Grandmaster Fernando gains 25 opinion. We gain 812 gold. Yes. We'll do that now. Our holdings are way down, but I don't really care too much about that currently. Greetings, my liege. I have arrived in Angers to pay homage to you. Count Hugh of Alençon. Welcome in. So he's not practiced in the Iberian vulgar vowels. He mispronounces a few things, but it's okay. It's good effort. Good effort. So now with a lot of cash in the bank, we're going to take a look at Aquitaine right now. They are still isolated, and we are going to go to war with them. This is the biggest chunk that we can grab. So let's move our rally point right down here. And we will come out here and we can head south immediately. If we take a look here, we've got a dangerous faction. The ultimatum will be sent soon. Okay, that's not great. So instead what we're going to do is let's actually go here and we're going to destroy that regiment. And instead we are going to add trebuchets. And we're going to increase that size up. We've got the cash. Bring in trebuchets. We can have up to 30. So, yes, trebuchets. They just give us a little bit extra. All of this is going to cost us a good chunk of money. Obviously, when we raise our armies, then this is going to drop significantly. Count Gilbert is swayed. We're going to continue swaying him. And in the meantime, I think we're also going to increase our bowmen by 1. To the Bedine Henri, he has found that we are indeed the rightful lord of the County Samoa. See it done. So we will do that and add more cost here. So, I mean, we're losing some cash. I get it. But increasing our military in the meantime, we're just going to leave our rally point. Actually, no. We're going to move our rally point now back to Angers. And we are going to wait for these guys. They're going to send an ultimatum in 9 months. A call to war. Henri. On our alliance to join me in the Galician clash against Malachite Zenzier. We will accept this. And you know what? We're going to raise our armies, because we really should. And we're going to head off to Iberia to help in this conflict here. They're taking on Al-Andalus. So that's not to be trifled with. We're going to send these guys down. Where are we going to go? We're just going to send them down here to the Galician coast. Take a look here. They got 16,000. We have 18,000. It's pretty tight. And you can see how we're losing money once our army is raised. But he's going in full swords blazing and not waiting for us to show up. Because when Al-Andalus comes in, that could be a huge difference maker. If we look at Al-Andalus, their troop size is the biggest. So that's going to be the big one that they're going to have to deal with. But the Galicians have a pretty good army. And once the Aragonese arrive here in Coimbra, in southern Portugal, we can head there. I've been hosting your Chancellor, Duke Toumas. So this is Count Alphonse of Avranches for several weeks. He has helped me to really see the splendor of your realm under your rule. I am nothing less than honored to serve as your vassal. So he gains 30 opinion of us. So a new alliance formed here with the Magra Vavid Emirate. Ooh. That is nothing to sniff at, as a large army is forming down here. Just keep an eye on it right now. That's a very big army. Actually, we're going to get off the coast. We're going to head over here and come together with them. Now, that all being said, once our the war is declared here against rebels who want lower crown authority, we will then ship off back home. I mean, I'm sorry, Galicia, we need to deal with our own internal stuff. Ideally, you can hold on long enough that that's not a big problem. So there's a large army here in Coimbra, but we're going to help here. We have a son, another Henri. Estefania presents me with a perfect little son. I thought she wasn't pregnant. Another ancestor, Valeran. Yes, we'll go with Valeran. Why not? I'm a little confused now, but that's nothing new. Count Gilbert has been swayed. Take a look at other vassals that maybe could use with some swaying. There's nobody really there. courtiers. Acclaim 9, Kuburi. So let's start swaying him. We've got 12,000 here, together with the Galicians. Council invitation, you've been a loyal and devoted subject, and I wish to reward you. As Chancellor of Francia, of course, I accept, my liege. I'm going to win 2 sieges here, and now we're going to move up. Off to play. My son and heir, Angevin, along with Constance, has been invited by peers to Count Anahuac. In Izudun. Sure, very well. Go to Izudun and play with them. Alright, it's time to head up here and join this fight. And ideally support it. Get there in time. Ah, they don't need the help. They got it. But we will help them here. And move across. And join that fight. Will everyone get there in time? They do. They hold them. We get in there. And this is the Margravid Emirate forces. So destroy them. A new alliance. He keeps forming alliances here because obviously they are a little concerned. So let's head back over here. And just keep an eye on where things are going. This is at 95%, so they are facing them down here. They will wipe them. They will defeat them. Maybe this will get to 100% before all said and done, and then we can head home. That battle is done. They're at 99%, so that ticking war score will go in their favor here shortly. There's 100%. And so be it. We can disband our troops and head back home. So that was a nice victory for the Galicians. They're chipping away at the Muslim forces here. We've got a big conflict internally here. Duke Barrett of Barcelona is now in charge, and he is dealing with a war against Countess Ramona. Countess Ramona. Wow. Solace in script. Our children have returned. Latest work of my acquaintance, Mayor Guichard, has become all the rage at court of late. The piece deals with feelings of sorrow and loss, and Guichard has publicly dedicated to me. Regret and sorrow. When such beautiful continence is hid from sight, those left behind must feel a blight. When one so great falls so far, all lives, all plans are left ajar. So far I've kept my thoughts to myself. I don't know how I quite feel about this. Guichard, I could see this is truly heartfelt. So the Aragonese issue is taken care of because Duke Perarabon, he died, skewered on a stag's antler in a hunt. Well, and now that claim is gone, so the Barcelona problem has solved itself for us. But let's take a look at the impending military power. So that ultimatum has dropped. Okay, so too weak to send an ultimatum. Let's actually start swaying her. Let's get people on our good side. Prince Geoffroy of Aragon. These are also people we need to work on. But now I think would be a good time to launch our claim down here. So we're going to move that all the way down here. Simon, my courtier, frets all through the day, evidently attempting to find the right words. At last, as we make our way to dine, he begins sheepishly. My liege, I hear rumors that Elise, the Duchess of Brittany, has come to see you as the focus of her enmity. She talks openly of the illegitimate king of Anjou who daily usurps her rightful lands and revenues. Ha! Venomous oath. No, I shall write Elise at once. Or inconsequential prattle, I am sure. Gained trusting liege for 3 years. Yes. No. She would never do that. Duchess Elise was, in fact, bluffing. So now that we have that done, I mean, our coffers are a little bit down. But we're just going to ask the head of faith for gold, of course. And get some money in from our friend, the Pope. And unbeknownst to him, he is now funding this war here. So they are good and strong. Let's take a look here. If we declare a war, so we can push other people's claims. So we're going to push our claims. And we will, of course, then bring in our allies. We got a ton of prestige to work with. And it's going to cut down. We're far away from really reforming. We could reform at 2,000, but I want to grab Toulouse for sure. So we're going to declare this war. We're going to raise all of our armies. And we are going to call in allies. So we're going to start, of course, with our house members and call them into the conflict. And as far as dynasty members go, of course, we're going to go all the way to Pomerania and call them in. I'm not going to worry about them. And other allies, the Galician king, for sure. Tyrol and Norway, no, I'm not gonna fret about you at this point in time. Time to unify our forces down here and then see where they are. So they got 7,200 down here. And we are now going to quickly unify. And we've got a new diplomacy lifestyle perk. Richard has died. Oh, good. Okay, so first thing is we're going to cross here and slowly siege things down. So we've got a new perk. Flatter, befriend scheme power, plus 30%. So I'm going to do that. And we can appoint a new marshal. And Count Hartwig. Yes, of course, Count Hartwig, you are back in your rightful position. Take a look at our army here. Hartwig is the commander. Do we have someone else we could put in here? He's a rough terrain expert, a holy warrior, and aggressive. He's an organizer, so movement speed goes up. Fatal casualties up 25%. We're going to military engineer. Now we're going to go with Adelat, a younger man, and that way we don't sacrifice our marshal. Let's see here. They have gone all the way south to Aragon. Okay, good to know. So we are in Quercy. Here come the Galicians. Our friends from Brittany as well. We could see our Welsh relatives. And now it's carpet siege time. To the benevolent Henri, I've heard good things about you, and I'm interested in starting a written conversation. This is King Edward of Italy. Yes, exchange letters immediately. We are diplomatic. This makes sense. Now, the other thing we could do is head down here and try to destroy that army. I think that might not be a bad idea to Serene Henri. Thank you for your swift response. I'm looking forward to our correspondence. Please implore you, pick the first subject to discuss. Let's see, he's sadistic, arbitrary, and craven. Big into military and intrigue. Philosophical debates. Tell me about friendship. We see the Galicians are moving across here. And to think that you would ask about a subject so dear to me. Only wish to continue to exchange letters. So we gained 100 diplomacy lifestyle experience. We didn't gain a lot of information there. I think once we win this siege and the Brittany wins that siege, let's just head down here and take on that army. Here come 5,000 Pomeranians. Nothing quite like an army of angry Pomeranians. So we've won that. You know what? Now let's head down south here and bring our allies with us to try to destroy them. So they're defending in hills, defensive buildings, better army commander. Yeah, I mean, our allies are coming with us. We're just going to swarm and destroy at this point. And then we could actually go down here and siege there. Are they going to get away in time? They do. Head into the mountains. They're defending in mountains, which is a big bonus for them. But I'm not overly concerned about that. We've got absolutely overwhelming forces to take them down. And victory is ours in the field. And now, actually, you know what? We're just going to go for the big blow. We're going to go straight to Bordeaux and siege the capital. Our allies are coming with us. We've destroyed their army in the field. And we're going to go straight for the heart, go to the capital. I know that's not great because you're taking attrition for sure. But destroying their army in the field and having just overwhelming odds with allies that are carpet sieging in the meantime. This is my idea. The tactic here is to end this war as swiftly as possible. We've got one member left here, and down here, that's peasant rabble. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to start swaying him. Prince Geoffroy, our brother. Limousin is under siege. That siege is going to take 17 months. This siege is going to take 5 months. And in the meantime, another siege is one down here. And our allies are moving up north. This siege will be done in 2 months. So of Carcassonne. Constance learned the Iberian vulgar language through observation. We can demand an artifact. What does he want? Moniker's horn? Sure. I don't really care too much. We can commission something now. We have something, a little language, actually. Greetings, my benign king, Stefania says, winking. I'm very interested in the upbringing of your son, or our son, André. You see, I speak Arabic, a language that I believe would be most useful for him to learn. That sounds very useful. I'll pay anything to see it happen. André, do your best. And he learned that language. So inspiration has the metalsmith inspiration, wants to form a goblet, forge a goblet for 91. Yeah, we will sponsor that. Okay, now we're going to focus back on here. We can see our enemy, the Aquitainian army, has been defeated. We're now at 90% war score. So this war will be over once we gain Bordeaux. I seized the Brunfort Spear in the Siege of Bordeaux, and with that, we can enforce the demands, disband our troops, and we have expanded Aragon nicely. I mean, we're this ugly snake making its way through Francia, taking a chunk out of the heartland of Aquitaine. But we want to eat Aquitaine. We want to take as much as possible here. So with that being said, we're going to go straight back here, and we're going to fabricate a claim on Issoudun, because Aquitaine we can't do much there. So we're going to fabricate a claim on Issoudun and take that next. Saumur will definitely be next. Then we're going to start here in Brittany, and Touraine, and regain all of the lost lands, and then eventually really go after Aquitaine and unify our lands. I mean, it'd be great if we get this big Aragonese empire or kingdom within Francia. We're slowly but surely getting there. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. And until next time, I'm Realm Builder Guy, and I will talk to you soon.